Traffic jam on the main route through Manang. Horns honking. Oh, good morning from Manang. So our path today goes up the valley there, and then somewhere in here it turns left, and it goes up to Tilitcho Lake. I've seen videos of it, so I kind of know what to expect. It's sort of a long, exposed slope. Maybe not that interesting. Maybe have some good views, but the immediate vicinity of the trail isn't maybe not that great. But go to the highest lake in the world, or one of the highest anyway. The morning commute. I don't know how to describe this. Switch it around. I don't know how I can describe this. The feeling. And although the mountains are high, and they're right there, it doesn't feel claustrophobic. It actually feels the opposite of claustrophobic. As if I'm in the wild, open areas. Don't know why I should feel that way. It's not like I've never been in mountains before. It almost feels like I'm up. Well, yes, compared with the mountains I'm not, but compared with sea level I certainly am. It feels like I am raised up just by being here. Interesting feeling. Well, here's a pretty decent view, I think, of the path ahead today. We're up above the riverbed, obviously, even above the gorge. I can see, maybe you can too, a relatively low bridge there crossing over, and then goes up, and let me see if I can zoom in there, because I can see it with my naked eye. A track along the side there, which I believe is where the Tilitcho Base Camp trail goes, and then it turns to the right, and we'll head off there. And I think that might be Tilitcho Peak. Tilitcho Peak might be hidden behind here. Not really sure. But yeah, it's going to be open and probably dry. So, but miles are going to have to be done on foot. Well, once again, I'm finding myself hiking faster than anybody else on this trail. And it's not like I'm trying to. I'm not trying to out-hustle anybody. I'm just trying to go along at a pace that seems sort of natural for me. We were talking about this with one of the guides for the Estonian guys who I've met and had some nice conversations with. To what do I attribute this? Several thoughts on my mind. One, I do what I call power breathing. I try to get as much oxygen as deep into my lungs as I can on every breath. And there's an element of this that is rhythmic, you know, sort of with every step. When I breathe out, I actually sort of constrict my throat and mouth and cheeks a little bit under the thought that I am actually increasing the pressure in my lungs such that I ensure every red corpuscle going by in my alveoli gets as much oxygen as possible. I'm not sure how sound the science is on this, but it's something that I first started my first rodeo early on in the PCT in 2019. I say I'm not sure how sound the science is because if I increase the pressure in my lungs a little bit, if there's some excess carbon dioxide there, it's not freely flowing out. So don't cite this in scientific literature, but at least the rhythmic part of it probably helps a little bit. The other part of that is that especially if I'm early on in an ascent, I see other people around me and they're just kind of breathing normally. I will immediately go into I probably sound like, the little engine that could coming up behind them. And what I'm trying to do is never go into an anaerobic metabolism regime. I'm trying to keep it as aerobic as possible for as long as possible. So maybe I benefit from that. The other part of it is long distance hikers talk about trail legs. And I've talked about trail legs. How long does it take to get trail legs? I've said 4 to 6 weeks. And certainly, if you're off trail for a week, if you're hiking the PCT or whatever, you go to a wedding, whatever, take care of a family situation, you notice it. You got to it takes a while to get the legs back. But yet, there's another part of it that I noticed last year and also this year, because I really haven't been doing treks the last 4 to 6 weeks. This year at all. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm into my 3rd week now, but as soon as I stepped off on the Manaslu circuit, I was going faster than any of the other foreign tourists. I leave Kaji behind, my porter. Anyway, back to the point that I was trying to make. there is some sense where I have trail legs, some vestigial trail legs. The muscle memory in my lungs. Maybe it's just, like increased lung capacity that takes months to go away. They're like locusts. Some of them don't know what they're doing. Some of them don't know how to control their bikes. And if they lose control, that's where they're going. They will. That's 400 feet down. Anyway, back to the thread of my story, of my thoughts anyway. I have noticed the last couple of years, even when, I have been doing my crossword and Sudoku regimen, and within a few days, I'm like, not 100% trail legs, but 80% trail legs, 90% trail legs. There's something there that stays with you in terms of metabolism and muscle and sinew and everything that just allows you to kind of go without too much trouble. A lot of these people are worn out, a 6-hour day. Well, a PCT through hiker is 10, 12, 14 hours a day after day. And I'm nothing special. I am not faster than average on the PCT. I'm a little slower than average. Same on the AT. So anyway, I wanted something to express. So I'm going up this long, exposed catwalk. Now it's 10 to 3 in the afternoon. Base camp in sight. And then a clear view here of the trail that goes up tomorrow. Probably better than the one I will have in the morning. Yeah, I think you could see that track to go up to Tilitcho Lake. Lots of folks on the trail today. Last several days, there's been a large group of Russians, and I got stuck in the middle of them here, and it was just painfully slow. And fortunately, there's sort of a wide spot in the catwalk, and I was able to just kind of, and it was uphill. So I do well on the uphill, I go slow on the downhill. So yeah, but these catwalks, literally miles of these catwalks. This is pretty bad, but not as bad as most of them. If someone fell off the catwalks back behind us, no hope. Unless you happen to have like an ice axe or something like that in your hand, you could self-arrest, but there'd be no way.